6, 7 days of solid sunshine here in London. In fact, they've been watering this pitch for the last week, and when you remember the condition it was in, very wet and soggy a week or two back, that really is remarkable. Great many people come down from the north. Of course, the habits have changed over the years. They used to come down by train and coach, but with the M1 being completed now, a great many people come down on the morning of the match in cars. But a great many of those people you're seeing now were in London for this event last night and making their presence felt very strongly indeed. So the players are coming out very shortly from the tunnel. The players of Castleford in Yorkshire and Wigan in Lancashire. Castleford looking for their 3rd win in 3 appearances. They won it last year. They're the holders, remember. And Wigan, who've been here many, many times. So as the teams prepare to come out, I hand you now to our match commentator on this Rugby League Challenge Cup final between Castleford and Wigan this afternoon, Eddie Waring.
Well, thank you very much, strong Bob. The Wigan supporters in a good voice, but then so are the Castleford supporters, who, as Frank says, it's been a long trek down the M1 for the Yorkshire boys, and the Castleford boys here with their yellow and black. Castleford here last year, of course, when they won the cup, and in 1935, so they've never lost at Wembley, so they say, and of course they're right, they haven't. Wigan, of course, have been 10 times. They're now on the 11th appearance, and they're raring to go as soon as the cup tie comes around. I gather Eric Ashton, who is the manager-coach for Wigan, has already put himself onto the bench. These are tactics, no doubt, by Eric Ashton, who, as a player, used to say, well, it's what the lads do in the dressing room and then on the field is the most important, and it's just that with Ashton now as a coach. Wigan, who have played away in all their cup matches this season. Castleford, who have only had 1 try scored against them, and that was in the semi-final match against St Helens, when they dropped 3 goals, and the Castleford amber and black with the mingling of red and white here and there. The Castleford slogans have been all sorts on posters. Classy, Cass for the cup. Wigan, of course, possibly more seasoned, but here comes the great big moment for Rugby League with the cup final walkout, with Castleford on the left, led by the chairman, Ronnie Simpson. Wigan on the right, led by their chairman, Norman Bibby, followed by Doug Lawton, the skipper. If this fellow was out of the way, we would be able to see the players. He's now out. Just let you savour this moment. Bob Bedell there, who in his social moments wears a wig. The referee, Fred Lindop, one of our youngest whistlers. And in the dark, but of course they won't be playing in the dark, will be led by Alan Hardisty with a new football. King of Castleford, Moore of Castleford, 10 years partnership with Hepworth, but in senior football, but longer. They've played together since the age of 9 years at school, and here they come for the one moment that everybody feels is the great triumphant moment of a year of hard slogging. Castleford hoping to do the double. Can they get 1? Ronnie Simpson is the Castleford chairman, nearest to us on our left, and a rather heavier man with Mr. Norman Bibby coming in on the right. Away to the halfway line, and those of you who are not here, and you mustn't be here if you're watching, can I hope sense the greatness of the occasion. The skies are a bit overcast. The grass coming up here and there, but this won't worry the boys with the ball. It's rugby league ball, bounces awkwardly anyway, so there'll be no worry about having to push the ball, a long ball through straight and clean.
The teams will now be presented to the Right Honourable the Earl of Derby, President of the Rugby Football League, who will be accompanied on the arena by the Prime Minister and officials of the Rugby Football League.
Well, I don't know whether you heard that, but on the right is the Earl of Derby, the President of the Rugby League. In the centre is Mr. Jim Davis of Widnes, the Chairman of the Rugby League, himself a former player. And on the left, the Prime Minister, Mr. Harold Wilson, who comes from Milnes Bridge near Huddersfield. And it is Castleford who are meeting the President, Alan Hardisty, leading them on. The big fella coming to now is Dennis Hartley. He's the heaviest of the side, 16.5 stone. Lockwood, who is number 12 on this side, now coming to be received and met. Playing his first game for quite a long while, and he's glad to be back into the game. It was a hand injury, so he's been able to play quite a while, train quite a while rather. Mr. Wilson, Huddersfield Town fan, and now they come into the Wigan side, and Doug Lawton, who was bought from St. Helens for quite a bit of money. Colin Tyler, the full-back, about 170 goals and quite a lot of tries. One of the leading points getter in the business. Wigan, no strangers to Wembley, but only one of them, Frank Parr, being here before in that 1965 final. And Doug Lawton explains, of course, the Earl of Derby from Lancashire. I'm sure I was speaking to him before the match, but I don't think he's got any particular wish who's to win. He was saying he's sure it's going to be a good match. Referee Fred Lindop, 34 years of age, comes from Wakefield. And the two test judges, Mr. Hill, Mr. Hall and Mr. Schofield. And very soon the preliminary will be over. The man in white is Billy Scott Coomber, who has been gallantly leading the singing, getting them opposing one another, the Yorkshire and Lancashire. Wigan's problem's going to be whether they've got back into cup stride after quite a while out of the real competitive match. And they're showing him the mark, he's got a stamp too, that's the way. A military man indeed. Castleford stripping, ready for action. Steve Norton is collecting them up. Steve Norton is the boy on the right who's collecting the talks from them. And last minute instructions from Mr. Simpson to Alan Hardisty. I know what he's not telling him. He's already told him that there's £150 per man if they win. Number 4, Ian Stanton. Alan Lowndes, who was in doubt very much to the start a couple of days ago. Alan Hardisty gone. Little Keith Epworth, Happy as they call him, around Castleford area. Dennis Hartley. Clive Dickinson the hooker. Mike Redfern, the goal kicker, sometimes great, sometimes messy, sometimes disappointed. Bill Kirkbride making his first trip, I gather, ever to London. What a day to come on. Wife too, the Cumbrian. And the big Malcolm Reilly, the player of the match in last year's final. The player of the match is voted for by the journalists. Colin Tyrer, away number 1. Gary Jones, the man who scored 5 tries in this cup competition. One of the Welshmen. Peter Rowe, also a Welsh member really from Cornwall, if you understand what I mean. Wigan on the stand-off half. David Hill and Frankie Parr, who knows what it's like to play here. Keith Ashcroft. Bob Badell, never thought he'd be at Wembley, I'm sure. He played with varying teams. Hogan, who used to play with St. Helens, in as a late choice. The costliest man on the team, number 12, David Robinson, and Wigan's captain, Dougie Lorden. So the Castleford team, just if you didn't catch them all: Derek Edwards, Trevor Bridge, Tony Thomas, Ian Stenton and Alan Lowndes, Alan Hardisty and Keith Hepworth. And the forwards, Dennis Hartley, Clive Dickinson, Mick Redfern, Brian Kirkbride, Brian Lockwood and Malcolm Reilly. And that is Derek Edwards, who was injured, do you remember, in that dramatic match that we covered on Grandstand for you last Saturday against St. Helens. So this is the Castleford side in white with a black and amber V. And on the Wigan team, the pride of Lancashire at the moment, Colin Tyrer, Kerry Jones, Bill Francis, Peter Owen, Kevin O'Loughlin, David Hill, he has a brother who subbed today, Frank Parr, scrum half, Keith Ashcroft, Bob Badell, Brian Hogan, Bill Ashurst, and I hope that pleases the man in Lee, Dave Robinson and Doug Lawton. And this is the moment to decide who's going to kick where. And usually Castleford, if they win the toss, play against the wind. They've won the toss, and I don't think that the flags around the stadium are very listless. I think they're tired. There is just one having a bash on the halfway line. So Dougie Lawton, Wigan captain, who cost quite a bit from St. Helens, 13, not considered unlucky if it is. Rugby league players have nowhere near superstitions which soccer players have got. He says there's only one way for it to happen, and that's to win it. And away we go for the first 40 minutes of this 1970 Rugby League Challenge Cup, the most coveted trophy in the business. Wigan on our left, Castleford on our right, and Derek Edwards in possession. Wigan in the red and white hoops. Castleford in the white strip, we'll call it. Those of you with colour sets will know that it's amber and a black V and a drop ball. An advantage. And the referee having a word with Clive Dickinson. The hooker, so it's going to be the first penalty, and I think he's suggesting he put his knee into him. But I didn't, he says. So referee Fred Lindop, first penalty of the match, a kickable position for Colin Tyrer. Around 168 goals this season. And Tyrer is the most controversial kicker. Gets a bit of an action too. Is quite talked about. First chance taken of the match. Let's see what he has to do. Well, you can see he's got to go with the 25-yard line and aiming for those two tall uprights. And this is a thing you're going to see, I think, probably quite often this afternoon. will do for 2 points, and it will for 2 points after only 2 minutes of the Wigan crowd really delighted that star. A shade of what happened in 1965 when Laurie Gill fed it the other way around, kicked a goal from the halfway line up to Marchant of Hunter, kicked straight into it. So 2-0 down for Castleford, who are kicking off. Tyra will no doubt say all the time I take is worthwhile if I kick him, and he's kicked a lot this season. 25-yard line, Wigan defending. Alan Lowndes has been a bit doubtful right up to yesterday. Terry Jones. Number 2. Just to give you plenty of identification at this moment, Brian Rockwood, number 12, 22 years of age, who has come into the team after of course fell off with injury. Hardesty. It could bounce troublesome for Wigan, but Kevin O'Loughlin is on it. Even if he'd have to lose a lot of ground. 2 yards from the try line, and that's the line that matters. If you get it over there, you get a try, providing you touch the ball down properly. Unless you want a dead ball. Hogan. Hardesty is just going to his right. I don't know whether he's... no, he's moved away. I thought he might have gone for the drop. But Derek Edwards. And the sun's coming out. Derek Edwards is a running fullback in these days of the fourth tackle business. You want a running fullback. Dennis Hartley, the big strong fella who knocks them down, picks them up. He takes 3 or 4. They're trying to pinch the ball. There's still another 10 not doing out yet. Hepworth can't get his passing. Bill Kirkbride. Nice kick, not enough traction. Well saved, Tyra. And the scrum down was just saying, the sun breaking through what had been an overcast sky with signs of rain, but now quite promising. 5 minutes gone. Wigan 2. Reeling run. Castleford 0. Gonna have a drop. Gonna have a drop. No go. And it's not run over the dead ball line, so Tyler's going to run it out. Due to the fact that Castleford dropped 3 goals against St Helens, you can understand they're going to be trying it occasionally this afternoon, particularly if they've got 2 points down, as they are at the moment, with Wigan in possession in their hoop jerseys on the left. David Hill. Castleford is a good defensive side. They've only had 1 try scored against them in the cup competition. Bill, it's a charge kick. It's a charge kick. It's an obstruction. It's a charge kick and it's an obstruction. Some of them are appealing for a try. Dennis Hartley is appealing. He might have got a try, and well, he might. It was rather a... We'll have a look at that again. I'd like to see that again. Are we going to see that? Because it was... Well, just watch this as the charge kick. Now then, was there anybody before him? Do you think he might have scored? Well, you can argue like mad. I don't suppose it makes any difference, but it's a penalty for Mick Redfern. Well, it was a desperate saving effort, and I'm not quite sure what he had in his mind when he did it. I don't know what happened. So, equaliser or not, Mike Redfern, 96 goals, a very unpredictable goal kicker. In the semi-final last year, I said that, and then he kicked a most amazing goal from the touchline side. And he's missed them. You remember against St Helens last Saturday, the last kick, not as hard as this one. Redfern missed it. Brother-in-law to Alan Hardesty, and he's finding trouble in getting the ground right. 2 points to nil at this stage for Wigan. And somebody's moving, and they've been told not to move. But it's a goal, so it makes no difference. Colin Tyler was moving and told to give up moving. 2-2. There's the Castleford fans in the yellow and black. 7.5 minutes gone in the first half, and the signs are promising. The signs are promising for some good rugby. Now they've got settled into what it's all about. I like an early point. No matter which way it is, it gets it out of the system and then get on with what they're here for. 100,000 people paid £90,000, a world record. Jake Edwards, the runner. Alton Wheeler, the strong man. But Hogan's not so bad himself when it comes to strength. The 25-yard line, Castleford defending in all white strip, apart from the numbers and the V's, hardest to kick it. Tyra usually loves to run, kicks to Edwards, who rarely kicks. The first tackle. Offside, not going to be counting them. Bill Kirkbride, the Cumbrian, wanted to take it quickly. Alan Hardesty, the captain, is pacing them a bit. Great pacemaker, Hardesty. There are times in the match when he looks to be doing just nothing, and then he shoots into something, bad kick. But it doesn't matter so much because they get possession again. Take the tap so we can get the ball back. 2 to Castleford, alphabetically, that is. Wigan 2. Wigan scored first. Ian Stanton. Hartley. Halfway line. Hartley had been here, this is his third occasion. He was here in that great 1965 final that we were talking about. Kirkbride breaking the field. Kirkbride to Hepworth. Hepworth getting buried, but running promising. Inside the 25 yards, Wigan 25. With a bit of a chance of an overlap. A bit of a... Oh, he's in. Great try by Alan Lowndes. And it looked there all the way, just how much he was there. Let's have a look. You see there was about 3-4 here. Stanton did a good job there. He just lobbed it. And Alan Lowndes, who was possibly wondering how he was going to feel, gets in his 17th of the season, one he'll not forget in a hurry. His first at Wembley, former rugby union player. One of Castleford's old stalwarts who holds the record number of goals for the club at Castleford has been giving a bit of special coaching to Redfern this week. We get it here in the cry of the Castleford. 5 points to 2. 5 points to 2, 7 to 2 if he kicks it. And the Wigan players must not move. And a few tango, as they say. Not going to burn in. Going to come out. So 11 minutes gone in the first half. Castleford 5, Wigan 2. Not yet up on the official scoreboard here at Wembley, but I can tell you it is. They've still got it 2-2. I hope they've got a television set. I know it's 5-2. 3 points for a try, 2 points for a goal. All goals, dropped or otherwise. Been putting a lot of water on this pitch, but it's hard, but these lads are used to playing on hard ground, soft ones any sort. What mattered above it, not just below it. Tyra. How the players have got to stand back with the referee from an offside to stop in an offside position. Kevin Ashker, Frankie Parr, the dummy half. Hogan didn't expect to get it. There's a chance for... Oh, well taken indeed. Peter Rowe got... he had O'Loughlin outside him. Kevin O'Loughlin there on the far wing. Just see shorts there. There he is. Played in all positions. Forward, backs, all over the shop. What they call a ubiquitous player. The battle of the scrums, maybe that eventually they decide in fact over the long, long way to go yet. Frankie Parr. Scrum halves like to duck for their own sake, apart from anything else, of getting through. Hogan. Valentine coming up nicely. He's going well. But I think, yeah, there's a trouble there because Gary Jones, who was bumping the winger there, he was actually obstructed and he couldn't get up to take the inside pass from Colin Tyra there, who made a good break. And he's being spoken to by Alan Lowndes. Alan Lowndes took his man without the ball. It was what we call a bit crafty, but... And I wonder if that penalty is because of the other one. However, it's given officially because of the putting the feet in his own forward's feet. So chance for Tyra to kick the second goal. Castleford 5, Wigan 2. Just 15 minutes gone in this first half to see whether Castleford can do the double of winning the Cup 2 years in succession, a feat done before at Wembley anyway by only two teams. Wigan were one of them and Wakefield Trinity were the other. But of course there was some before the Challenge Cup was played at Wembley. They won it twice, succession. First Wembley 1929, Dewsbury and Wigan. Jim Sullivan, the greatest kicker that Wigan ever had, and probably the Rugby League ever had, over 6,000 points to his career. And now the modern number one fullback for Wigan, Colin Tyre, and the angle. 10-yard line inside. So 25 yards from the 10-yard line. 5-2, Castleford 5, Wigan 2. No go. No go. Midway between the Castleford 25 and the try line. There's number 9, Bob Bedell, the hooker. Trying to keep himself out of trouble. You know, the fear is that if you get them playing in their own half, then you have a chance of keeping them there on this 4-tackle rule. And he's the only... Somebody's out. And Hepworth Hepworth has having his name taken, little scrum half for Castleford. No player has ever been sent off at Wembley. Only one cup final has been drawn at Wembley. That was in 1954, and Colin Tyrer is the man on his back. I'll just give you... We'll just have a look at that tackle again and see what happened. Well, yes, it was an elbow. He jumped up, and well, you can have your own interpretation of it. But the referee's taken Keith Hepworth's name. Colin Tower, it went. It's a facial jaw injury, I'm afraid. He must have turned then because he was running. I was facing us. Yes, he must have turned on his right because it's on his left cheek, and he was running down with his right cheek nearly still down. Eric Ashton, the maestro of Wigan, coming on, the manager coach, great player. There's Eric Ashton helping, bleeding quite a lot, as you can see. There he is. It's in the mouth, but he was feeling his face. Eric Ashton taking a moment to give instructions. See how he's feeling his cheek. I think we're now on the bone. So they're taking him off. Let's hope that it's nothing that will keep him off. And Eric Ashton giving instructions, sending that ubiquitous fella Kevin O'Loughlin full back. So they'll bring him forward out and put him on the wing, and O'Loughlin's gone full back. No, they'll put Bill Francis on the wing, and they'll bring Bill Ashurst, I would think, to the centre. He's played there before, prior to him being a forward. I would think. Anyway, we'll see. So that was the first, Colin Tyrer who kicked the first goal off the field at the moment, with Cuthbert leading 5 points to 2, and Bob Bedell going to take the tap from the penalty. Wigan's two substitutes are Cliff Hill and Colin Clark. Cliff Hill is jumping around. Wigan's 12 men at the moment on the left. Is it a chance of a break here? That is Bill Ashurst, who's gone centre, number 11, 10 yards out. Wigan with 12 men, 10 yards out at the moment. The pass is taken. 3 tackles gone, I think. And the referee has penalised Castleford right under the post for offside. He penalised Ian Spenton right under the post. Well, 20 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go, halfway through the first half. Castleford 5, Wigan 2. And our message from the touchline is that Tyrer has lost some teeth and is concussed at the moment, and the doctor is having a look at him. Or being sent for to have a look at him. Our man on the bench giving us the progress report. 5 points to 2 for Castleford, and 2 quick penalties have put Wigan into a kicking position. Bill Francis himself, a Castleford-born lad, playing for the Lancashire club Wigan. Preferred to go into Lancashire than stay with or join Castleford. He has kicked quite a lot of goals in the past. International winger. Would make it just a 1-point margin if he kicks it, which it does not. That was a close miss. So the score remains Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and as you saw the clock, we've passed the halfway mark of the first half. Castleford chasing their second Wembley, and it looks to me as if Tyron might not be coming back. Anyway, no good thinking ifs and buts. We'll tell you in a moment. Dave Robinson, international forward, is going to Australia in a fortnight's time. Cost Wigan £10,000 from Swinton. Frankie Parr to Doug Lawton. Got it nice and out to Bill Francis. And Wigan's 12 men are playing quite well at the moment. Doing more attacking than they have been for quite a while. Well, I think Cliff Hill will be coming on to replace Colin Tyrer. He's on the touchline side. He can't come on until the touch schedule the referee tells him. Hardisty. And indeed, Kevin O'Loughlin fullback. He's not on yet. He can't come on yet. And away to the touchline goes the injured player on the far side, which is Colin Tyrer, being helped off. Will be going towards the dressing room shortly. So Cliff Hill's on. It's a suspected fractured jaw of Colin Tyrer. And that's hard lines for any footballer at Wembley. We'll sort of just the situation out. I think Cliff Hill might go full back. First tackle. Bill Francis trying to get it striding clear. Terry Jones, Bill Ashurst, Frankie Parr, Dougie Lawton trying to go down the middle. They know that the next one is the third tackle. Alan Hardisty playing well at the moment. Wigan. Peter Rowe. The ball loose. No, the referee has not given it. It's the last of the... Dave Hill and the ball loose. Well, that's the... Well, Colin Tyrer goes to the dressing room. Here he is, Colin Tyrer, with a suspected fractured jaw. Very unfortunate for the Lee lad who played for Lee, now at Wigan. Very sad moment to see anybody going for the dressing room. Injured, and indeed we've got another player in the middle of the field, just to the left there. There we are, Peter Rowe. I think he was a bit winded, or I don't know. There's one player, a great centre, used to play for... Oh no, it's... However, it gives you a chance to get you up to date with the situation. The score, Castleford 5 points, 1 try, 1 goal. Wigan 1 goal by Tyrer, the man who's gone off. 2 points, 5 points to 2. 15 minutes left. Not been a lot of scrum. Tony Thomas. Funny, he's been Wigan for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and Wigan are offside. Malcolm Reilly. I think the injury upset, there's Hepworth, the man who was concerned with it, and Bill Ashurst. I think the injury seems to, at this moment of time, has affected Castleford more. But now they're coming back. Trevor Briggs. Trevor Briggs leading, good try scorer on the wing. Malcolm Reilly. Now Gregson inside, Instead, a nice football. He was going to kick. His road was blocked. He had that to jump like Eric Batten, and Billy Batten used to do. He's not allowed these days. They have to crawl or kick. He didn't do any, so he was tackled. Hepworth. Oh, well taken. And it's no try. No try. It's a forward pass. It's a scrum down. Well, that was good football by any standard. Wigan defending 10 yards from their own post. Down 5 points to 2 at the moment. Hepworth ball. Hogan, you can usually tell Hogan is the one with the rather crop of hair. Edwards himself was an injured man last week. I think he got out of it rather nicely. Trevor Briggs. Castleford are a great team for backing up. They like to run. They love to go with the ball. Nicely taken Stenton. Inside to Lamb. Not nicely taken. With advantage. Kerry Jones has got the legs if he can get in the clear, but he hasn't got beyond Alan Hardisty. Still only 1 try margin. 2 strong men. Malcolm Reilly. Dave Robinson. Bob Bedell, Frankie Parr, Bill Ashurst. Dave Robinson running nicely. Hill. Forward pass. Well, we've had one at both ends now. Forward pass. You can touch it down just for the sake of doing it. Hey, fetch the ball. Well, you can always say touchdown at Wembley. You got a note for it, but it's touchdown. Been a lot of scrums, just about equal. Hepworth is making sure that he's not going to get penalised this time. Really lobbed it into him. I think Fred Lindhoff was in the way there of Malcolm Reilly. Castleford, a population of 39,000, and half of the town here, and the other half, no doubt, Wigan. They're leading 5 points to 2. Interested to see whether there's any cramped legs later on. Ball back, and those of you who are new to rugby league, I think most of you know a lot about it now, but it's a ball back means the ball is being kicked directly into touch, so it's a scrum back where it was kicked from. With 10 minutes left, Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and there's a lot of openings about this, indication of 2 good defensive teams. Every now and again I think something's going to burst. You might think these fellas get nowhere with having to make 3 people tackle them, but it's hard work tackling too. Oh, nice run by Lockwood. That will do Lockwood a lot of good. He hasn't played for quite a few weeks, and he'll know he can still run. Hardisty. Kirkbride. Yes, it was a forward pass. It was an accidental forward, but it was a forward. It's like the bloke who was grounded only 2 inches short. He said it was only a little short, but it was short enough. And that was Hepworth to give it to Frankie Parr. Wigan, the club who was after Gareth Edwards, famous Welsh international. Rugby union, that is, of course. A short one, a long one. Johnny Thomas got Trevor Briggs outside him. He can't, that pass. Cliff Hill on at full back instead of Colin Tyrer to not to alter the formation. And I just can't remember any other sub on at Wembley. I can remember them on at I don't know. The players injured. I remember Tommy Harris, great hooker, going off injured, but in the days when there were no subs. However, the sub is on. 2 brothers on. Cliff Hill and David Hill. Come from Newton Le Willows. Penalties have been in favour of Wigan, half a dozen for Wigan, 2 for Castleford. And it's helped them to keep Castleford pegged down a bit. Lad doesn't want to give the ball up. He hasn't learned how to pass yet, hasn't that little lad? Probably plays soccer. Strong forward, Dave Robinson. I toured with him in Australia, and he can play on hard grounds very effectively. A kick. Beginning to touch a good kick. About 8 countries abroad taking this rugby league match. The United States of America have got very keen on the rugby league. I think the day would be when we'll be playing there, but they've been seeing the last 2 cup finals and really enjoyed it, particularly the clash of the Beef Boys there. And another penalty to Wigan. For Hepworth putting the ball. There's Hepworth talking to the back. And this is the sort of thing that's likely to knock Hepworth a bit of a stride. Iggy Lawton. Chance for Bilko. Now that was good at Kirkbride. He didn't attempt to take it on the run. He sat down and took it. Make sure he got it. Edwards. Hartley, he'll push him off. He'll try. He does. He was looking to get the pass in there, you see, so they squeeze it to him. So he can't get off. Kirkbride. It's all right, play on. Edwards will run on his own. Edwards has probably passed us soon, but he might come off. Briggs has got one man to beat. He's not beaten him well. Just one man, but a good tackle. There's still players out banging the field, but the movement's still got to go on. Redfern, this was a chance for Castleford, and I think Edwards could have gone on running. Now there are 2 Wigan players out, one on the halfway line and one between the halfway line and the 25 line. Well, that is Hogan on the right. I don't know. So Wigan are having some luck with injuries. Peter Rowe, who's down for the 2nd time. Peter Rowe from Cornwall, who played for Swansea Rugby Union, and that's Hogan, who came from St Helens. So with all this happening, the situation at this moment, 5 minutes to go to half-time plus injury time, of which the referee is the sole controller. Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and I think it's a play the ball. And we just got word that Tyro has got a suspected fractured jaw, has gone to hospital for examination, and Hogan is still being attended to on the halfway line. Only him to breathe in. So just to give you the situation that well, there's only one alteration now. That is number 14, Cliff Hill, has gone to the full-back position. So that leaves the formation as before. Eric Ashton particularly doesn't like to alter formations if he can. Castleford in white, Hepworth number 7, and Frankie Parr on the left will be putting the ball in when Hogan joins. And it's a push, and if he can get the ball out, and he's penalised, but is penalised for putting the ball out of the scrum. He's supposed to let the ball come out to him from the back row forward, and he went in to get it. So Hepworth, the pigeon fancier, got into trouble. It was Castleford have had a couple of penalties, and Wigan on to 9. Yards line coming up on the right. Frankie Parr kick in for a position, but he's going to run. Tony Thomas. Castleford in a defending position but in possession. Hardesty, and the kicking's not good. Castleford are playing in little spurts, and the penalties seem to be upsetting them a little bit. They've had 9 given against them, and they've had 2, and they seem to be a little bit more unsettled than their normal form. Probably they will settle to some of their own usual supporting brilliance later, but it's very, very open at this moment. 25-yard line, Frankie Parr. Wigan, this is a chance for the midway between the 25-yard line and the try line. Hepworth trying to get out of trouble. Castleford kicking out of trouble. I don't know. I can't make up my mind about this wind. This is it. Oh, well taken. I was just going to talk about the wind going around which way it was. And a good run by Kerry Jones. Just not getting his legs. He ran over the wicket for a moment and stumbled, but Kerry Jones is the man who could do a great job on the wide open spaces. Wigan not feeling the loss of Tyre at this moment. yards line, which I keep seem to be saying, and the Castleford 25-yard line, which indicates Wigan doing a bit of attacking. And really dropping the ball. This is a chance for Frankie Parr. 40 minutes are gone, but there is extra time, of course. And a knock on. Hepworth. That's 3 times Hepworth has got away and been pulled up, but once for the forward pass, once for a knock on, and again a knock on then. So getting very near to the last chance for either team. For Wigan are attacking at the moment. Wigan looking for another penalty. Trying hard for the penalty there. Castleford leading 5 points to 2. Not had anything like that in a long run yet, but the afternoon is short yet. Long way to go. We have said about Hardesty, the sort of player that suddenly comes into the picture most unexpectedly. 1 minute gone into injury time. Wigan holding on, even without Tyra, and Cliff Hill is staying well back. See how far back he is. He's able to take that ball. Well, nearly. The referee is not in the knock on. Ian Stenton taking the number 14, the sub. Glotton, and there goes the whistle for half-time with the 42 minutes gone. just looking at the players as they go off. One or two have got a little bit of, seem to be trouble ribbed, whether they've got the hard ground. But there'll no doubt be quite a bit of discussion in the dressing room and tactics. Eric Ashton of Wigan, Thomas Males of Castleford, both experienced footballers and both players who know what it's all about. And with only just one try between them, 3 points margin, this is a cup final that could go anywhere with the amount of material on this ground. The two teams go to the dressing room where I am told there is now no condensation. Bob Bedell looking a bit worried. Frankie Parr, Eric Ashton on the right, and the sub Cliff Hill, the referee. So we're going to let you see the band in full action, but before we do, we'll just show you the one try that was scored, the only try of the match, and it was scored after Colin Tyre and Redfern had kicked a goal and Lowndes scored it. The 25 yards, Wigan 25. With a bit of a chance of an overlap, a bit of a, oh, he's in. So right, well, the half-time score, Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and now you can sit back, boil your cup of tea, do what you want, and you listen and watch the mass band, the Coldstream Guards, the Scots and the Welsh, all in full uniform for your pleasure. Welcome back as the sun comes down on the 26 players from the tunnel at Wembley, with 40 minutes yet to decide just how this 1970 Rugby League Challenge Cup final is going to go. The score is still what it was when you left us, Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and just a reminder, those of you who have just got in, Tyra kicked a goal, and then later was injured. Redfern kicked a goal after 7.5 minutes, and the only try was scored by Alan Lowndes. And the 5 points to 2, and it will be Castleford on our left, and I can't see any subs. All the jerseys are a little bit dirty, which is always the sign, or the shorts, or the stocking. And Wigan on the right, 40 minutes to go, 5 points to 2 with Castleford, the cup holders now wanting to do the double. Wigan, who have put on a very good show since Tyra went off. They've got Cliff Hill at the full-back position in place of Tyra, so that's up to date as the teams line up with just 40 minutes. So only one draw ever at Wembley in 1954. Castleford in the all-white strip, apart from their black and amber V, and Wigan in their cherry and white, not just red and white, cherry and white. Dennis Hartley, the big prop forward, will start try to make progress, and the back three of Castleford, Lockwood, Kirkbride and Reilly should be doing something. Well, they're going to put the ball up, both teams. They're obviously going to try to play in the other fellow's half. Hill still running, used to be a stand-up half, so he knows how to run. Kevin O'Loughlin. Interesting, both full-backs, players who used to play as stand-up half. Hogan, 25-yard line. Wigan were a team with great cup tradition. It's come off for Wigan. Castleford seem to be rather taken aback with the Wigan tactics of a player running in front. It's an Australian type of play. And I don't know just how much it's affecting them. Will Francis sidestepping nicely. 25-yard line out from the Castleford. I see what I mean. We're going to have a drop. Going to have a drop, but it's no goal. No goal. Bill Ashurst, who will be looking forward to try the drop. The Castleford will spend quite a bit of defensive work. Keep going into attack, but losing possession. And of course they've been wanged with penalties in the first half, but now it's their turn to get a penalty offside by Wigan and Kevin Ashcroft. Well, I just wondering who they're going to use as kicker. Ian Stendon, slight built lad, 24 years of age, came back after a leg injury some while back. Played full back quite well on occasions. Quite a number of 22s in the side. Reference 22, Lockett's 22, Reilly's 22, and Alan Lowndes who got the try, he's 22. Years of age, that is. Dickinson. Lockwood. 25 yards line. Wigan's 25. Wigan in the cherry and white hoops. Woof. Hepworth, Reilly. Tony Thomas, he danced for Trevor Briggs. He beat one. But numbers too many. Reilly. Hepworth. Hepworth does a... And it's a penalty against Hepworth. Hepworth has really been in trouble this afternoon with referee Lindop. So this is the 10th penalty for Wigan. And referee Lindop, who comes from Wakefield, his first time at Wembley. But they've got a supporter who's come all the way from Texas, USA. And I got a lot of messages before asking for people to be mentioned, but at this moment, when anything can happen, I've got to keep on with pace. See what I mean about the player running in front. It can't be just chance, it must be tactics. It's an old Australian tactic. We used to reckon it was a shepherding out there. That's not shepherding. Halfway line. 5 minutes gone, second half. The score still Castleford 5, Wigan 2. And for the next 5 minutes, there'll be a trial of strength before somebody's strength peters out. Peter Rowe. Hogan. O'Loughlin, number 5. Not an awful lot of scrums, but so far it's just about equal, actually. And Hepworth won't be happy about feeding the scrums at this moment, I'm quite sure, after a few penalties. And he's really not happy at this moment. Although he's capable of suddenly bursting into life. I can bet he's doing a little bit of mumbling and grumbling there. He's the sort of lad that ball loose, somebody's got to get a foot to it. Robinson. Could be a question of the fittest who's going to take it in the end. David Hill. Nice pass, forward pass. Forward pass to Dougie Lawton. Ashton, who hasn't had a match a serious match for quite a while. We'll be after losing against Whitehaven. They're been training very, very hard daily. Castleford, of course, had quite a hard match last Saturday, and just what physically and temperamentally it will have affected them, I don't know. But there's a chance for Peter Royer to get it inside, but it's not a knock-on. Certain amount of nervousness about Castleford at the moment. "25 yards line." Castleford's 25-yard line. Hartley got his pass in. And he couldn't get his pass out, and it's a knock-on. Just inside the Castleford half for identification, and Hardisty was injured after he got the ball away there. Looks to be in Australia. I seem to have fallen heavily on the back. I thought it was lower down, because I was going to say in Australia a lot of the players wear padding around that part to protect the hard ground. But I think it fell rather awkwardly. What they're waving on for? Someone else wants attention. I think it's either Kirkbride or Mike Redford as referee Lindop takes the time. Yes, it's Kirkbride. It's a hand. Anyway, give us a chance. Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and in the second half we've been playing 8 minutes, and it's due at this moment or very soon, unless they've mistimed it for something to happen. I said that when Wigan won the cup here in 1965, and Ashby went through and Lake got a great try in the corner. The rather bit of a oppressive heat, I would think, affecting some of the players. But once they see the try line, I don't think that'll stop them. The funny thing is that Wigan are packing 5 men all the time. Dougie Lawton's out of the pack. He's not getting in much, and now Reilly's out. So they're both packing 5 forwards. They can't pack any less. But obviously one of them's decided to take the other fella on. Epworth. Hartley. Epworth. Lockwood. Going to be a matter of strength, going to be a matter of fitness, going to be a matter of luck. A kicking up and under. It could bounce right or wrong for somebody. Kerry Jones has got it. And Lowndes has got Kerry Jones. A lot of rugby union people here today, no doubt would like to see Kerry Jones have a long run. Clifford playing quite a useful game at full-back. I don't think the Tyra injury will have affected Wigan very much at all, unless it happened to be in goal kicking, because Clifford's a very capable footballer. Trevor Briggs. He's got 3 men immediately. Got Tony Thomas. Oh dear. Don't seem to keep the feet so well, Castleford. Lowndes, not the only try of the match so far, really. Kirkbride. Lockwood, still pushing. And Wigan got out of that nicely. There's not a lot of tries, but there's a lot of movement. Clifford certainly having a very good match for Wigan as the substitute full-back, and I'm not at all sure that They might have come off by this. Well taken, O'Loughlin. Not the fastest player, but a goer. Robinson. Well, Wigan came away from their own line then, a loose pass. Castleford have been guilty of quite a number of loose passes. And they got away from that one and came up to this position where these big drop forwards with Castleford just taking the scrums at this moment by 6-4. And the defending scrum half, which is Keith Hepworth, to put the ball in. And a penalty to Wigan. Well, Keith Hepworth is really disturbed about this. There's one try. Yes, one try the margin. 5 points to 2. 12 minutes gone and Wigan in attacking position. Wigan here for the 11th time in the cherry and white. Oops. And attacking on a movement with David Hill. Gorton. Hogan. Well, that was anybody's. Not going to run. Kerry Jones has got 13 Castleford players in front of him, and he's got 30 yards to go. David Hill. Dennis Hartley, the tackler. 25 yards out from the Castleford line, and Wigan keep making the half break. Passes to Frankie Parr. Frankie Parr to Lawton. Knock on. Well, I'm quite sure at this moment that Keith Hepworth is frightened out of his wits of putting the ball in that scrum. He's been penalised quite a bit around the scrum and for one or two things, and he's such a good little footballer, but he needs a lot of confidence instilling into him, and Hardesty will no doubt be having a word. And fancy trying to get it in there, I ask you. The old lady said you need a funnel. But out to Reilly. Oh, well. 2 falls or 1 submission. Castleford still holding on to this 1 lounge try. Both teams have got a very, very good defensive record, particularly in the cup tie. Castleford have only had 7 points scored against them. Wigan 22. Quarter of an hour gone. Kerry Jones. Castleford realised the danger of Kerry Jones on the right wing. Got the speed. Dave Robinson looking for inside support. Wigan are playing strongly and hard at this moment, causing a lot of trouble. A forward pass, another forward pass, and that won't count for anything except a picture from the cameraman, who will only talk about the try that was disallowed, but it was not even on after the first pass. But it shows the strength of Wigan at this moment, and the 2 number 8s having a rare old battle. The idea is to pack tightly and the ball goes in the middle. Hepworth can't keep his feet as well as he normally does. Edwards can run. Oh, and Edwards quite capable of going a long way. Oh, he's missed the chance unless somebody's going to get it. Briggs has knocked on. Well, that was a good run by Edwards. Trevor Briggs was a little bit too eager there to get the ball. It might have been better to have taken a... And it's rather indicative that most of the press photographers who are being crowded around the Castleford defensive line have now gone to halfway line. The breather will be welcome for the players. 17 minutes gone, Castleford 5, Wigan 2, and the Wigan, there you are, I'm sure they'll have heard him. Wigan Pier, which used to be Billy Boston, and now Kerry Jones has got the mantle on the right wing. Bill Francis, left shoulder, Castleford possession, Hardesty, and they dropped the ball. Castleford handling's, I think, a sign of either what happened last Saturday and they're thinking about before they come to it, or alternatively, they're not quite happy with the ball, but they're certainly not holding it well. Scrum half. 5 points to 2. And it'll get harder before it gets easier. Good tackle by Tony Thomas. Castleford beat Hull at home, Barrow away, Salford at home, and St Helens on neutral ground to get into this final. And Wigan beat Dewsbury away, Oldham away, Lee away, and Hull Kingston Rovers on neutral ground. Castleford had had 4 successes in the scrums. Lost that one. Just a little sign of tiredness about 1 or 2 players. Dickinson's holding his right ribbon. A chance for Bill Ashurst. He's running like mad for the wide open spaces. He was no doubt running for Kerry Jones. Remember, it's only 1 try, the margin. Drop ball. This is the only chance Castleford have got on these strong runs. Take any chance of a drop ball, which Wigan are not doing very often. The big lad, Dennis Hartley, formerly with Hunslet. Well, it's as good as a pass. That's what they say when he goes straight to the full-back. Halfway line. Alan Hardesty holding his back too. Alan Hardesty has got an injury. That's possibly why we're not seeing him. Castleford at this moment, a question of holding on. He went out of that tackle. We're halfway through. And Wigan are strong at the moment, and Hardesty, number 6, walking towards the referee. He's going down on his knees, calling for attention. Well, there's Alan Hardesty in the white jersey. His ribs, or his small of his back. Could be anything around there, but he's Alan Hardesty, who's due to go to Australia. There's Tommy Smales, the coach, come on. And he's obviously worried to lose Hardesty, and he's giving instructions. He's using this moment of talking to the players. Well, it's 50 minutes since we had a score. And Dickinson, of course, who had the injury. And so what are they signalling for help from the touchline? Who's going to give it to them? What do they want on? They're not making the signals quite clear. Yes, well, all right, you may be mates, but anyway, what's he doing? Oh, they send him for Hargrave. If the other fella came on, I bet he wonder why they wanted it. So Hargrave comes on and Hardisty goes up. Well, that's the second sub of the match. Johnny Hargrave, number 14. The boy I call the Jeff Best of rugby league with his haircut, and he goes stand off. He can tackle anyway. He hasn't got Hardisty's ability to break through from the halfway line, but a fit man is better than a half-fit man, I suppose. They tackle like mad all afternoon. Used to have a great centre called Jimmy Robinson of Castleford. He used to say, I love to tackle. Celebrates. All the sandy patches you see on the Wembley turf. Alan Lowndes. Good cracker, that was a big high pass. Redfern can't get his pass in, can he? Well, he's got some sort of a pass in. Oh, that's not good. Back on. Hardisty's injury has been diagnosed as an injury in the small of his back in the kidney region, but he won't be taking any more part in this match, except to walk up onto the Royal Box, either for or without the Rugby League Cup, which at this moment is wide open into its result. Just one try the margin. And Wigan possession. Wigan's strength in the forward has been very effective, and the bringing on of Cliff Hill at full back has done quite a bit. Although the triple had to happen. Epworth will now possibly take over the leadership, certainly taking over the tackling. Movement. Nice long one to Kerry Jones, who'll try to go outside. Actually taken by Lowndes in the fourth tackle. Taken outside, all right, but Kerry Jones is limping a bit. Seems to be his left knee. Most of the players seem to have got jarred injuries today. Penalty again against Epworth to Wigan, and you can see Epworth with his hands on his hip looking very dejected as he walks away, and he's now going to talk to Epworth. We'll just have a look at this one. He's already put his name in his book, so he knows his name. Well, there's Epworth without Hardisty, which is a most unusual situation, and it's a restart from the 25 yards line because the ball was kicked over the dead ball line and into the crowd, which doesn't matter. So 15 minutes. Can Castleford survive without their captain, Alan Hardisty, against the Wigan, who have been in this Castleford half for quite a long while? Twice they broke through, but they were forward passes. Let's go a long while back, I'm sure, for a match that there's only been one try in at Wembley. In 1938, Salford beat Barrow 7-4 in the days of Gus Richmond. There's only one try so far. Bill Kirkbride in fourth tackle. Wigan, Sherry and Hoop got their one sub on, the forward available to come on if needs be. And the Castleford there, one sub on there, forward available if needs be. Castleford just taking the scrums. It is up with unlucky day. He goes round to the blind side, gets the ball and kicks it into O'Loughlin's hand. A spot of inspiration is needed by somebody on either side now, individual inspiration. Both teams have been struggling around with each other in the forwards. It's been hard but unproductive so far as points are concerned. Well, there's Bedell in the middle, number 8. It's adopted the Celtic pants idea. His numbers on the shorts. Eccles going around the blind side and going to try to run on his own. Lawton having a good game, good tackling game. Long wild passes. Danny Hargrave, their first time he's touched the ball. Kirkbride gone behind it, or without it. And the struggle, they tested him for something, I think with Dougie Lawton, the offender. Or is it, not Dougie Lawton? Bill Francis. Bill Francis and Dougie Lawton were together. Bill Francis, of course, comes from his hometown Castleford, so they'll play for Wigan. Alan Lowndes, and I would think that I'm trying to visualise. Yes, he's going to take a shot. Redfern is teeing it up. Lowndes injured player, but it's not it's a facial injury. Castleford 5, 1 try and this 1 goal, and Redfern kicked the 1 goal. He's getting close to the 100 mark, but this is an important one, and they're all important in cup ties, and this is what he's got to do. See the 25 yards line all right, and you can see the post, and you can see him. Bulkhead once kicked 6 goals for Huddersfield on this ground. Tremendous goal. They used to say there was a Wembley wind in the bowl. There's 2 points for Redfern and Castleford if he kicks it. Taking his time, taking the kick. And it's 2 points. Castleford 7, Wigan 2, so Wigan needing to try and a goal to draw level. Well, that was Castleford's 5th penalty, and it was productive. Wigan are in the double figures, 11. So this looks like developing into a last glorious grandstand. I mean, it as far as this afternoon is concerned. Oh, it's a loose one. Not a loose one. This moment would be vital because the Wigan the forwards particularly are very, very hot on the ball. Castleford 7, Wigan 2, 10 minutes to go. Cliff Hill, one of the men who could save this match, because every tackle is going to be cheered by Castleford for the tackles they make. We've got a lot of followers in Scotland, where I'm going this week, next week, and Wales, so I hope they're seeing what a hard, tough one this is. Kerry Jones is limping badly, or is limping, I don't know whether it's badly or not, but he's limping. Only he will know that. Castleford, the cup holders, less than 10 minutes away from their second successful Wembley. It's going to be very, very hard with that goal giving Castleford a lot more confidence than they had 5 minutes ago. It's up and under. It could bounce, troublesome for somebody. Briggs could be onto it. Very well saved by Cliff Hill, number 14, who came on a sub, but is having a very good game of full-back. Sometimes Wigan fans have criticised Tyra's defensive play, but he had to go off with a facial injury. And Cliff Hill will be coming up, no doubt, as often as he can. Derek Edwards, is he going to have a drop now? He's a runner. Some are droppers, some are runners, some are stickers, some are all sorts, but Derek Edwards there likes to run. 25 yards line. This is the sort of thing that really likes to get. And Wigan have got it. I don't think Kerry Jones can go fast enough to get to him. There's Kerry Jones, just number 2. He'll be walking fast now, back. There he is. See him limping. There he is, Kerry Jones. I've no doubt with an open field, he'll gather speed from somewhere. Ball loose. We're going to have a chance to save this with a try and a goal. No extra time. Very good pass. This is the big Challenge Cup final. Next week will be the big championship final between Leeds and St Helens, which we shall be covering. The matches at Odsal here at Wembley. Wigan wisely throwing the ball about in the hope of getting something, but they could be in trouble. Nokai could be in trouble, and it could be still loose. Still loose. Anybody's ball. Castleford in white on the attack. I thought Lockwood might have been able to get up. There he is. Kirkbride made the run. Anybody sticking back for a drop? Don't be worried. He's going to have a drop of goal. Going to have a drop of goal. But it's as wide as somebody else. There he is. He'll have quite a lot to say for himself afterwards, that young fella. Goal would, of course, have made the margin that Wigan would have had to score twice, as it is. Wigan only got to score once and kick the goal in the level. And they gather in strength and speed from somewhere. Villacious running for the right place in the middle. Bob Bedell was backing up well. And 2 players out on the Castleford side. Oh, Danny Hargraves is up, but somebody else is down on this side. Looks like Lockwood to me. It is Lockwood. Lockwood has been training for a number of weeks with he had a hand injury, he had his hand broken, but this could be, of course, training is not half as good as match fitness. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes only, plus injury time. Castleford 7, Wigan 2. There'll be no subs brought on, I don't think, unless it's an injury. They'll not be brought on for tactics. And one wants to pack 10 yards away from the other. 2 number 8s. Ashcroft. Epworth for the bowling. Can Castleford hold on to this 5 points lead they've got? Well, this 100,000 crowd, they've come from all over the British Isles to see this Rugby League Cup final. They've seen a toughie, a hard one, with Wigan fighting for their life after their 11th appearance at the stadium, and Epworth penalised again this time for not letting Frankie Parr play the ball. He'll sink in that bath with great relief after Will Epworth, and he'll tell everybody around him what he thinks. Brothers on the field. Wigan on the attack, 10 yards from the Castleford line. It only needs 1 try and 1 goal for Wigan. to at least draw. Use their movements. They've got some forward. He's going near the post. It could be it under the post. It's 3 yards up. No good having the drop, I don't think. Well, it isn't. Badal, is he in? No. You can see the post. Wigan fans are on the toes, trying to will them over. Somebody will try to have a burst. And they drop the ball, and Reilly's got it. So the relief cheers for Reilly having got the ball. Now it's a question who's got the ball. 3 minutes left. Dennis Hartley. Whether that moment will ever come again for Wigan. They were as near as it mattered, but it didn't matter because they didn't score. Midway through the 25 yard and the halfway line, Epworth. Hargrave came on a sub. He's not the greatest attacker in Danny Hargrave, but he's a good tackler, and is what's needed now for Castleford in this last remaining 2 minutes of normal time. Welcome this, the Wigan crowd wanting just 5 points. Two girls are a bit upset with that. Then rugby league, a game that brings emotions, good, bad, indifferent, tears and smiles. And at the moment, it's Castleford who are deigning to smile, but not so sure. On the burst. Can't get his pass in. Keith Epworth taken over as the leader around the movement. He's on his wrong foot to drop. Allen now. Getting near to the last scrum. Indeed, we've only got now just 1 minute. 1 minute left with the score. 7 points to Castleford. Wigan 2. Castleford have taken just 2 in front on scrums. Penalty for Wigan. There's no doubt that Wigan have got the major share of the penalties. We make it 13-5. Well, he's apprehensive. It'll be a little bit shorter. Another 2 minutes. He can give a bite in. Halfway line. Castleford. It's going to be a real tussle for the player of the match award. We hope to get it for you after. Frank Boff will see the winner. 1 or 2 forwards around who have had a good game. Injury time, and the whistles from the Castleford section of the ground wanting the match to terminate. Ball loose. Castleford ball. Castleford in possession. With injury time only now, and I don't know how much he's going to allow. That's up to him. Redford. Epworth's done a tremendous lot of work, particularly since Hardesty went off. It's been a hard team game. Fourth tackle. The scrum with the Castleford supporters telling the referee, Mr. Lindop, what time it is. And I'm sure he knows. He just looked at his watch. in properly. The referee can, of course, allow advantage. If he thinks one side has got advantage, well, he lets it go. Penalty for feet up. Penalty for feet up. And penalty to Wigan. 2 minutes into injury time. I don't know yet whether Wigan feel that it's gone. They're coming slowly up into this attacking position because they've only got one try and one go. Probably Kerry Jones limping has a mental effect on them. They are doing this business of the forward coming up and taking the odd man out. Robinson, the halfway line, referee looking at his watch again. Looking at his other watch. David Hill. It's not over. Could be in here. The ball has got to be in touch. The flag's not up. This is it for this game. Don't be giving it up until the referee has decided what's happened now. The referee is going to bring in Cliff Hill for kicking. Hepworth there, who taken over the role of leader, and there goes the whistle for this 1970 Rugby League Challenge Cup final with Castleford the winners, 7, Wigan 2 points. So a very happy Castleford team and Castleford crowd. Interesting to see who will get the award. No doubt Keith Hepworth would have been in, but whether the infringement, or if it must have been infringement to the referee's view and concern, Tyra will have it in effect, we'll see. But Kirkbride's been a good forward. Wigan have had good forward Ashurst. Keith Ashcroft there, however. We'll let you know that later as the triumphant Castleford. I wonder whether Alan Hardis is fit to go up. I haven't seen him, but I think he will try to do that if at all possible. Knowing Alan Hardisty, and here he comes, Alan Hardisty, number 6, for the second year in succession, coming up to receive this coveted Rugby League Challenge Cup trophy. Alan Hardisty, the captain, in his benefit year, had a showing Castleford for him and Hepworth, and this is his greatest moment, 2 years out of 2. It's probably a painful one. Dennis Howell, MB, and the Lord Derby, president, with the colours to show. Mr. Jim Davis, Dennis Howell, Minister of Sport, and there's the chairman of Castleford, a very happy Mr. Simpson, and Mr. Prime Minister giving him a bit of advice. There's the cup. And look at Hepworth chatting. First time he smiled this afternoon, I'll bet. Right, and Lockwood looks as if he got a black eye. Dennis Hartley doesn't go for them, he goes for ears. You will notice. Kirkbride, who's had a very good match and must be in the running for this Lanstock trophy. Ian Stenton, Alan Lowndes, who got the vital try, Trevor Briggs, Tony Thomas. Dickinson was a bit injured, of course. Doug Lawton can manage a smile despite the fact that Wigan, who have been very, very much in the match, are limping Kerry Jones. Bob Badal still gets a smile, a veteran. This is the moment when the and the joy and the disappointment. It's afraid to Beard just on the left of the pitch there. Keane, the rugby league fan, talking to him before the match from Cumberland. And as the team goes down before the national anthem is played, Castleford, the cup holders, retain it. There'll be joyous moments, no doubt, in Castleford tomorrow when they arrive home. They've been down at Crystal Palace since last Wednesday.